Hi, welcome to this video. Thank you for stopping by. I hope this video may be helpful for you if you have any plan to go to Indonesia, especially as a tourist. I'm an Indonesian living abroad and I just got back from there recently. So what I'm going to tell you now is based on my fresh experience. These apps that I'm going to show you are those that people in Indonesia usually need to have. This video isn't sponsored, it's just based on my personal experience. Without any further, let's start. The first app is Peduli Lindungi. It's one of the most important ones. Even though in Europe and maybe other countries, COVID isn't considered as an important thing anymore, in Indonesia it's still considered as a serious threat, at least until the last time I went there. You will need to check up yourself for any last new updates. This app is important because you will need to show it if you want to go inside any mall or any public places, especially in Jakarta. First, you need to install the app and upload your vaccination certificates, and then they need verify. In my case, it took very long time to verify. Finally, I arrived to Indonesia before my vaccine certificates were verified, and I had to make a queue and verify them directly in the airport counters. At the time, the queue wasn't too long, but if you want to save that time, then it's better to install the app and register your certificates as soon as possible. If possible, you need to register it 1 month before you travel to Indonesia. Number 2 is Grab and Gojek. Grab and Gojek are apps used for almost everything. They are like Uber. It was basically founded for taxi transportation purposes, but now they have many more services. Because Indonesia is quite a big country and the transportation system isn't well developed yet in all of the regions, then you will need this one for sure. The fare by using Gojek and Grab is quite fair, so you don't need to bargain the price or get scammed. As a tourist, normally you don't have any idea about how much a fair price may be. In these apps, you can also order food to your hotel room, order medicines, cleaning service, groceries, etc. You can check their offer in the apps yourself, because they always update their services as this company always wants to develop and expand their business. If you use Gojek and Grab, it's better if you don't pay with cash, but instead you can deposit some money. For example, using GoPay for the Gojek app or using OVO for the Grab app. Because most of the people in Indonesia don't use cash anymore, especially in Jakarta. So it can be difficult for the driver to give you any change. Don't put too much money in the deposit. You can actually return the money that you don't use back to a bank account, but remember, it must be an Indonesian bank account. Be advised. The next apps that you need to download is Shopee and Tokopedia. If you go traveling and you forget to bring a jacket, SD card, or whatever, you can buy it in Shopee or Tokopedia. Actually, there are more, but those two are the ones I use the most. Those two are like the Amazon and eBay in Indonesia. Actually, you can buy it from eBay or Amazon as well, but you will pay a lot for the shipping cost because as far as I know, eBay and Amazon don't have warehouse in Indonesia. Many times, Shopee and Tokopedia offer free shipping, so just to make sure you get them free. But if you don't have it, it's also okay because the shipping costs in Indonesia are quite low. Of course, it all depends where you stay. Most of the sellers also have one-day service, so you can get what you need in very short time in your hotel or wherever you stay, as long as it has an address. And then the next is Traveloka and Agoda. Traveloka is an Indonesian app that offers many things like plane ticket, train ticket, hotels, car rentals, airport transfers, and so on. I used it for a car rental because they had a good prices. Sometimes I use it to buy train ticket or plane tickets too. And I also mentioned Agoda. It is not a local app, but I recommend it too because it will give you a very good prices for your accommodation. Well, actually you can use their desktop website, but it can be useful to have the apps as well because when you check in, you can show your booking faster. And then the next apps is Dana, OVO, GoPay, and etc. I don't mean that you need to install all of these apps obligatorily, but after 3 years not going back to Indonesia, the payment system in the country has changed dramatically. Long time ago, people only used card or cash, but now they have 1,000 payment possibilities, like for example Dana, OVO, GoPay, and there are many more that I don't know. And the cash tendency is to disappear. Long time ago, we could pay the toll with cash, but now most of the toll use e-toll system. No more cash. So maybe it is wise to consider doing some research about some of them before going to Indonesia and checking which one has the best benefits for you. The next apps is my Telkomsel, my Excel, and etc. Living without internet in Indonesia is almost impossible because you need an internet connection for almost everything. To order a taxi online, to scan the Peduli Lindungi app that I just mentioned before. So my Telkomsel, my Excel are apps to control how much internet quota you have left in your phone. The app you need will depend on what internet provider you use. For example, if you use Telkomsel, you will use my Telkomsel apps, and if you use XL, you will need my XL, and if you use 3, and you will need Bima 3. Okay, that's all for today. If you have any idea about which apps are important, you can add them in the comment section below, and see you in the next video.